Morning everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Have you ever wanted to do something, whether it was a career change, starting a business, introducing yourself to someone special, book the photo shoot, do the family vacay, get married, whatever the case? Have you ever said to yourself, I really want to do that, but first I need to do all of these things to get ready. Like I need to become the person that can propose. I need to have my ducks in order. Before I have kids, I need to make sure that I've got X amount saved. Before I ask for a promotion, I need to like fill in the gap. Like raise your hand if you have ever put 10,000 little tick box list of things to do before you would step out and do the thing that you have been called or convicted or inspired to risk it for the biscuits. Raise your hand. Great, I'm so glad I'm not alone. And I think that fear of failure, it's rooted in so many different things, right? I have seen incredibly talented people in various verticals, right? In various ways, very talented people play it safe and not take the risk because they don't feel qualified, they don't feel worthy. So they don't feel qualified, they don't feel worthy, and they're afraid of failing. And for me, I get it. I so get it. The fear of rejection that we all walk with, right? This fear of not being good enough or not being worthy of the thing that we silently hope and dream for. I get it. I relate. I have just spent a lot of time training my courage muscle. I think that that's the difference between people who are successful and people who are not. And let's also just qualify. We all have very different definitions of success. Some people have a definition of success, and that is incredible wealth and playing on a global scale and making massive impact through the marketplace. Other people's definition of success is an incredibly tight-knit, well-rounded family. Other people are like, I don't need a family and I don't need the money. I just want to travel and see the world. And if I can do that, I'm successful. And so I don't want us to fall into the trap that the only definition of success that is worthy of pursuing is one of financial freedom or dominance. You know, we're all generally, if you have access to YouTube and Wi-Fi, you might consider yourself in the 1% anyway, right? It's the 1% of the 1% where we have delusions and aspirations to aspire to. But anyway, so I think the difference between people who achieve what they set out to achieve and those that struggle their entire lives to get there is those that have mastered doing things scared and not taking the result personally. And I'm going to unpack that with you, right? I think the fear of failure exists at all levels. And I've come to this conclusion because I have sat at the feet of great leaders, great thinkers, whether it be face-to-face, through a podcast, in the pages of a book, right? I have saturated my thinking with the thinking and the thought leadership of great titans of industry, titans of life. And the one common thread through all of that is that the fear of failure doesn't ever go away. It exists to some degree at every level of existence. The only difference between being paralyzed by your fear of failure and learning and just doing things scared is training. It's like a muscle. The more you do things scared, the more you put yourself out there, the less powerful the fear of failure becomes. I don't think it ever goes away. If you know me or if you followed me for any length of time, you know that I put myself out there in various different realms of life, whether it's acting, singing, business, coaching, authoring a book, parenting. I kind of go hard at the things that I that I decide to go for. And none of that is without fear of failure. I promise you, the first time I was on set at a movie, I was petrified that I'd forget my lines, or on stage. The first time I walked in a boardroom filled with powerful people that I completely respected, and I had to go and pitch my idea, I wanted to. So the fear of failure doesn't ever go away. But what I've become really, really, really good at is knowing that my only responsibility in this game of life, going after the things that I want to achieve and I want to bring to the world, is that I am only responsible for showing up and going hard. That is what I'm responsible for. There's this parable in the Bible, and please don't come after me because I can't remember where it is, but I've actually fashioned one of my work principles around it. So there's this parable in the Bible where the Lord of the house sends people out. He invites everyone to come to his wedding feast, and all the humans that he invites to come to his wedding feast, they don't come. They don't pitch up, right? They're like, oh, too busy. So he's like, okay, dudes, no stress, bro. I'm going to go and get every human with a pulse. I'm going to invite every human with a pulse, and we are going to have a huge draw. So he sent his servants. He said, go and get people from the street corners. Go and get everyone, invite them to the feast. And everyone gets ready. They come in their wedding clothes and they're so excited. And this one guy shows up and he's not wearing his wedding robes. And the Lord of the Manor gets super upset with him and he casts him out. And he's like, vie before me. And for me, that principle, that come prepared for the thing you're arriving for, that's the narrative that I've taken out of that story for business. If you're going to a wedding, show up in your wedding robes. If you're going to propose, show up with the best of you. If you're going to deliver a speech, come being prepared. Showing up in your wedding robes is the way that we make sure we can contend for great things in spite of having the fear of failure, because we know if we have prepared and we come completely equipped with what we can be equipped with, right? And then we go, I'm going to put faith in the gap that the rest will work itself out. The universe will unfold as it should. That takes a large degree of the sting out of the fear of failure. It doesn't necessarily remove the fear of failure, but it takes a lot of that sting out of the fear of failure. If you are really prepared with what you've got. So remember, again, this is not about putting 10,000 obstacles in your way to stepping out in courage and going after the things that will create meaning in your life. This is I'm going to do what I can with what I have where I'm at right now to bring the best version of me to this thing. Whether it is this relationship, whether it is this business, whether it is this artistic endeavor, whatever it is, I'm going to take everything I have in my hand and in my life that I'm equipped with right now, and I'm going to bring all of that with excellence. And if I do that and fail, so be it, because I have done what I'd set out to do. But if I do that and I succeed, there's more, right? And so that is one of the biggest ways that I have learned to combat a fear of failure. And I come prepared to the things that are important, the things that I'm going after. I realize that the things that I have given myself to are not necessarily endeavors for me, but they are things that are through me for others. I'm really passionate about developing leaders, male, female, with a heart for women leaders recently. It's just a thing. But I have a passion to see leaders rise. And a lot of the things that keep us back is a feeling of not being worthy. And this feeling of unworthiness is rooted in so many false beliefs. I have yet to meet a leader that has not stepped into their rightful place because of something that's actually real. It's all this false evidence appearing real, acronym. And so When I step into a room to coach, I disappear. I am no longer a part of that equation. I have done my preparation. I have put on my wedding robes. I have come prepared for the moment. But I realize that in that moment, it's not about me. If I'm working on a strategy for a client, in that space of creation and ideation, it's no longer about me or what I bring to the table. It is about unlocking potential in the people around me and allowing that to come to the forefront. And that means that moment is not for me or for my benefit or for my edification. It is through me for others. If I come prepared with my wedding robes and I come prepared to live hard and go hard at this thing, I create a space where others can shine and be unlocked and access something that they hadn't necessarily accessed before. And so that deals with the unworthiness, right? That deals with the unworthiness, because when we realize that half of the things that are worth going after in life from a point of excellence are not for our benefit. Yes, we benefit in the process of doing it, but that's not the end goal. The end goal is not for our edification. When we realize that all we have to do is show up as prepared as we can with what we've got, and then let what is supposed to happen in that moment unfold, the pressure of being good enough goes away, because it's not for me, it's through me for others. My brain coffee. And so I felt very prompted this week to encourage you guys to lean into that thing that you have been dreaming about doing, but have not felt that you are ready to do it. You have not felt that you are good enough yet. You've come up with so many excuses. Guys, living an extraordinary life and working out all of your potential, like laying all of your potential out on the field, is truly a sacrificial labor, right, of love. But extraordinary comes from leaning into the things that scare the living daylights out of you, and doing it knowing that you're going to do what you can with what you have. Most of the time when we are pursuing something extraordinary, the benefit to others is going to be greater than the benefit to ourselves. So we don't have to make it about ourselves from a worthiness point of view. We just have to show up and let things go, or be, or unfold, or manifest as they should. And so if you've been feeling not good enough, if you've been afraid of rejection, if you felt unqualified, I just want to tell you that that's okay. You're completely on track. Welcome. Join the rest of us. Don't, however, allow that to be an excuse not to lean in and do things scared anyway. Everything you've ever wanted, I think it's George Adair. Everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. And half the time, that fear is not real, it's only imagined, it's cerebral, it's in your head. But if you want a truly extraordinary life, we have but a blink, but a breath, but a moment, but a heartbeat in terms of the time we have here to make meaning on earth. We have but a moment. Don't waste that overthinking all of the things that could go wrong, or all of the ways in which you think that you are not adequate. Don't waste time worrying about what if. If you just start, if you just do, if you just lean in, I promise you the momentum and the cadence that's created by taking action towards the thing you want to achieve, whether it is a deeper relationship, a bigger career, starting a business, starting a church, leading a men's group, leading a women's group, becoming prefect, fill in the gap, whatever that is, if you just decide that you're going to do things scared, I promise you what's on the other side is going to blow your mind. And so this is the sign that you've been waiting for to start. This is the moment where you get to draw a line in the sand and say, okay, I'm going to come with what I've got. I'm going to do what I'm going to do the best I can with what I have in my hand and what's in my life right now. And I'm not going to allow anything to stop me. I'm going to lean in and I'm going to go. And I'm not going to make it about being good enough. I'm just going to go and put all of my talent and resources and invest it sacrificially in this thing that I want, and know that at the end of it, the extraordinary life that I've been looking for starts to unfold. I hope this has been encouraging. Living a life where you do things scared, that's the life worth living.